Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, what if the moon was never there? What if one night it simply vanished without a sound? The moon has been with us since the Earth was young. It lights up our nights, controls our tides, and even helps keep life on Earth stable. But if it disappeared, everything would change. No explosions. No warnings, just gone. In this video, we will take you on a journey across time, space, and science to explore what would really happen to Earth. Nature, the oceans, animals, weather, seasons, and to us, if the moon suddenly vanished from our sky. This is not just about darkness. It's about the unraveling of a delicate balance we never even realized we depended on. You are about to hear the full story of how one silent disappearance could shake the entire planet. Let's begin. The disappearance begins. Imagine it's a calm, quiet night. The stars are out. The air is still. You step outside and look up, expecting to see the glowing moon, but it's not there. Not behind the clouds. Not rising late. It's just gone. No warning. No explanation. Just an empty sky where the moon once lived. At first, most people wouldn't even notice. We live busy lives. Some cities are so bright the moon is hidden by the lights. But slowly people begin to look up. News spreads. Something is wrong. Telescopes can't find it. Astronomers are confused. It's not hiding. It hasn't moved. It has vanished. And that's where the real story begins. Because even though it might not seem like a big deal at first, the moon plays a much bigger role in our lives than we ever imagined. Without it, the Earth begins to change, quietly at first, then faster and more dangerously. Let's start by understanding what the moon actually does. The moon is more than just a ball of rock in the sky. It's been orbiting Earth for over 4 billion years. It pulls on our oceans and creates tides. It keeps Earth's tilt stable. It affects time, weather, even life itself. Animals follow the moon's light. Some plants respond to its cycle. Even the length of our day is shaped by the moon. So, when it disappears, it's like removing a key piece from a giant machine. Things start to fall apart. First, the most obvious change, the night sky. Without the moon, our nights become darker. Much darker. On moonlit nights, the moon is bright enough to cast shadows, to light up the path under your feet, to give animals the visibility they need to hunt or hide. Now that light is gone. No more glowing orb. No more moonlight on the water. Just deep, silent darkness. Some animals rely on that light. Nocturnal creatures like owls, wolves, bats. And many insects hunt or move by moonlight. Some species even time their behavior by the moon's phases. Without it, their routines are disrupted. Predators can't find prey. Prey can't see danger. Chaos starts in the food chain. But that's only the beginning. The tides are next. Tides are caused by the gravitational pull of the moon. It pulls water in the oceans. Creating high and low tides around the world. These tides are not just waves, they are important for life. Without the moon, Earth would still have some tides thanks to the sun, but they would be much smaller. About 1/3 as strong. Coastal ecosystems would be thrown into confusion. Coral reefs, fish nurseries, and shorelines all depend on tidal patterns. Millions of sea creatures lay their eggs based on the moon's pull. Crabs, turtles, and even some fish time their breeding by the tides. With weak or unpredictable tides, these cycles collapse. Beaches begin to change shape. Coastal wetlands dry up. Saltwater mixes differently. Habitats disappear. Slowly, entire species may start to vanish. And there's more. The Earth begins to wobble. Right now, the moon helps to keep Earth's tilt steady. Our planet is tilted at about 23.5 degrees. And that tilt gives us seasons. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Our world changes because of this gentle angle. The moon acts like a balance wheel. Without it, Earth would begin to wobble more and more over time. It wouldn't happen in a day. But over thousands or even millions of years, the Earth's tilt could change wildly from nearly no tilt to extreme angles. What would that mean? Imagine a world where the equator freezes and the poles become warm. A world where seasons are unpredictable. Where winters can last for decades, then vanish suddenly. Ice ages could come and go without warning. entire climate systems would break down. Some scientists believe Earth's tilt could shift as much as 85 degrees. Without the moon, that would make one side of the planet face the sun for long periods, while the other side stays in darkness. One half could burn, the other could freeze. Life as we know it would struggle to survive. Earth's days, weather, and life start to shift. Now let's talk about something we often take for granted, the length of a day. Right now, one full day on Earth lasts about 24 hours. But that wasn't always the case. Long ago, when the Earth was young, days were shorter, only 5 or 6 hours long. Over billions of years, the moon's gravity has been slowing Earth's spin little by little. That's why we have 24-hour days today. But if the moon disappears, that process suddenly stops. Without the moon's steady pull, Earth might start spinning faster again. It wouldn't be instant, but over a long time, our days could get shorter. Maybe 22 hours. Then 20. Maybe even less. This might not sound like a big deal. But shorter days mean faster rotations. And faster rotations can affect winds, ocean currents and weather. Storms might get stronger. Winds could shift. Jet streams could become unstable. And that means climate change on a global scale. Now think about all the animals, plants, and even humans who are tuned to the 24-hour cycle. Our sleep, our eating, our energy levels, they're all connected to the rhythm of day and night. Imagine trying to live in a world where days are just 18 hours long. It would take a toll on everything from farming to health. And speaking of rhythms, there's another invisible force the moon helps with, gravity itself. Yes, Earth would still have gravity. That wouldn't vanish. But the balance of gravity between Earth and the moon helps stabilize our orbit. Without the moon, Earth's journey around the sun could become just a bit more unstable over time. Not enough to fly out of orbit, but enough to slowly shift our distance from the sun in certain cycles. A few million kilometers closer and we get hotter. A few million farther and we get colder. That might sound small, but on a planet like Earth, where life depends on very specific temperature ranges, Even small changes can be dangerous. Now let's look at life itself, and especially in the oceans. Many marine creatures follow the moon. Tiny plankton rise and fall in the water at night, depending on moonlight. Fish migrate. Squid hunt. Even corals release their eggs during full moons. With no moon, this natural clock breaks. Some species might adapt. Others may vanish. The ocean's food chain, already delicate, could fall apart in ways we don't expect. And then there's us, humans. We don't just live under the moon, we've watched it, painted it, prayed to it, told stories about it. The moon is part of our history, our dreams, our songs, our myths. From ancient tribes to modern poets, the moon has inspired us for thousands of years. Its disappearance wouldn't just change science. It would leave a deep emotional hole in our hearts. Nights would feel emptier. Something would be missing, not just in the sky, but in our souls. Imagine no more full moon nights. No more moonlight walks. No more looking up and feeling connected to something ancient. That quiet, glowing companion that watched over every generation before us. Is gone. And now the world must move on without it. But we're not done yet. There's more. Let's look at Earth's magnetic field. While the moon doesn't directly control Earth's magnetic field, it does play a role in the movements of Earth's core. The moon's gravity affects the molten iron deep inside our planet, stirring it gently over time. That movement helps maintain Earth's magnetic shield, a force that protects us from deadly solar radiation and cosmic rays. Without the moon's subtle stirring, the internal movements of Earth's core might slow down. This could weaken our magnetic field over millions of years. A weaker magnetic field means more harmful radiation from space could reach Earth. It could damage satellites, interfere with communication, even harm living cells. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. The moon disappearing doesn't mean instant destruction. It's not an explosion. It's not a sudden apocalypse. It's slow, quiet, like pulling one thread from a giant web. But over years, centuries, and millennia, the effects grow stronger. Climate changes. life struggles. Oceans lose balance. Earth begins to wobble. And we as a species must adapt or fade. Ancient clues, human impact, and the future of Earth. Let's go back in time, before people, before cities, before even the dinosaurs. Scientists believe the Moon was formed over 4.5 billion years ago when a giant object crashed into the young Earth. The debris from that impact slowly came together to form the Moon. Ever since then, it's been slowly drifting away from us, about 3.8 centimeters every year. That means one day, far in the future, the Moon might naturally drift far enough to no longer affect Earth's tides or orbit. But if it were to suddenly disappear today, that balance would break all at once. We can look at other planets to see what happens when there is no large moon. Take Mars, for example. Mars has 2 tiny moons. But they're nothing like Earth's, and without a big moon to stabilize its tilt. Mars wobbles wildly. Sometimes its poles shift, sometimes its seasons go from gentle to extreme. This is a warning for Earth. Without the Moon, we could become like Mars, a planet of chaos, with no steady rhythm to support stable life. But let's talk about us, humans. We are clever. We build cities, fly rockets, and connect across the world. But we're also deeply tied to nature. Even the most modern person still lives under the same sun and the same moon. So how would we react? At first, there would be panic. News stations would cover the disappearance non-stop. Scientists would race to understand it. Was it pulled into a black hole? Destroyed? Stolen by aliens? The theories would be endless. Religions and cultures that connect with the moon would feel a deep loss. Festivals, holidays, and traditions that follow the lunar calendar, like Ramadan, Chinese New Year and Easter would lose their anchor. People might gather in crowds, staring up at the empty sky, grieving something we never thought we'd lose. But over time, the world would try to adjust. We'd create new calendars, build stronger coastal defenses, study the new Earth with urgency. Some might even propose building artificial moons, giant mirrors or machines in space to mimic the moon's light or gravitational pull. But nothing could fully replace the real thing. And here's a thought that might give you chills. What if, after all this chaos, the moon suddenly reappeared? Just as silently as it vanished, it returned. No explanation. One night it's just there, bright, round and watching. What would we do? Would we celebrate? Would we fear it? Or would we finally understand how much we depend on something we once took for granted? Sometimes we don't know the value of something until it's gone. Up next, we'll explore what would happen to our space missions. Satellites, future colonization plans, and more in a moonless world. Satellites, space travel, and the moon's role in our future. Now let's think bigger, beyond Earth. Let's go into space. The moon is not just a natural wonder. It's also a practical part of our space journey. For decades, it has helped scientists plan missions, test technology, and dream of bigger things. But if the moon disappeared, it wouldn't just be a loss to nature, it would be a serious loss to science and space travel. Right now, the moon acts like a stepping stone into space. It's close enough to reach, but far enough to challenge us. Every mission to the moon teaches us more about how to survive beyond Earth. Without the moon, we lose our testing ground. Think about NASA's Artemis program. Think about China's lunar landers. Think about SpaceX and private missions aiming to build moon bases in the next few decades. All of that would vanish with the moon. And the future? Even more affected. Many scientists believe that the moon could be a launch site for missions to Mars or deeper space. It has low gravity, which makes launching rockets easier. It has resources, like ice in the shadows, that could be used to make water or even fuel. No moon means no base, no launch platform, no practice zone. But there's more. Did you know the moon also protects Earth from space debris? That's right. The moon, just by being there, takes hits from asteroids and comets. It acts like a shield. Look at its surface. It's full of craters from impacts over billions of years. Without it, many of those impacts might have hit Earth instead. So if the moon disappears, we lose a silent protector. And that's not all. Let's talk about satellites. Right now, there are thousands of satellites orbiting Earth. They help with GPS. Internet, weather, military, and science. Some of them are affected by the moon's gravity. Engineers plan their paths with the moon in mind. Without the moon, the balance of satellite orbits could change. Some satellites may drift. Some may crash. We'd need to redesign how we use space. Even future space elevators or lunar mining projects would collapse as ideas. In short, the moon disappearing doesn't just affect Earth, it delays or destroys much of humanity's dream of becoming a spacefaring species. It's not just science fiction anymore. It's survival fiction. And now, let's return to Earth to explore how losing the moon would affect cultures. Psychology, and the very way we see our place in the universe. Culture, emotions, and the soul of humanity. We've talked about science. We've talked about nature. But now, let's talk about something even deeper, the human heart. Because the moon isn't just rock and dust. It's poetry. It's magic. It's a symbol. Since the beginning of time, humans have looked up at the moon and felt something eternal. It lights our skies with gentle glow. It watches over lovers, dreamers, and wanderers. It turns the tides, yes, but also stirs our imagination. Think of all the songs written about the moon, all the paintings. The ancient myths and bedtime stories. The moon has always been part of us. Not just as a planet, but as a feeling. If it disappeared, the world wouldn't just grow darker. It would grow quieter. People would miss it. Artists might feel lost. Storytellers would grieve the space it once filled in our tales. Whole cultures have followed the moon for timekeeping. The Islamic calendar, the Hebrew calendar, the Chinese calendar. These are not just dates, they are traditions passed down for thousands of years. Without the moon, even time feels broken. And what about the children? Imagine a world where no child ever sees a full moon. Where no one points to the sky and says, "Look, the moon is smiling tonight." Imagine growing up under an empty sky. Would we dream as much? Would we feel as connected to the universe? Because sometimes the moon is the first thing that makes a child wonder about space. About stars. About something bigger than themselves. Without it, we lose that bridge between Earth and the cosmos. And then there's love. The moon has always been linked to love, mysterious, powerful, gentle love. Walks under moonlight. Wishes made under full moons. Promises whispered as the moon rises. Without it, something sacred feels lost. The night sky becomes just stars, beautiful, yes, but missing its heart. But here's a question worth asking. Could we survive without the moon? Yes, probably. But could we stay the same? No, not even close. The moon helped shape us. It guided evolution. It balanced our world. It lit our path, even in darkness. It gave us rhythm, mystery, and meaning. Without it, Earth would go on spinning. But a part of what makes life beautiful would be missing. And perhaps, someday in the far future, people will tell stories of the moon as we do now of lost legends. A forgotten light, a vanished guardian. Next, we'll go even deeper into the ancient connection between humans and the moon. The earliest moon worship, and what it reveals about our species and our longing for the sky. The moon in ancient times and human connection. Long before telescopes, space missions, or science books, humans were already watching the moon. They didn't know what it was made of. They didn't know how far it was. But they knew it was powerful. They saw how it changed shape every night. How it returned again and again like a loyal friend. In caves and deserts, on mountaintops and islands. Early people carved symbols of the moon into stone. They danced during full moons. They prayed when it disappeared. To them, the moon was more than a light in the sky. It was a spirit, a goddess, a messenger from the heavens. In ancient Egypt, the moon was Thoth, the god of wisdom. In Greek myths, it was Selene driving her silver chariot across the sky. In Hindu stories, the moon is Chandra, a shining being riding a white antelope. For the Chinese, the moon was the home of the moon goddess Chang'e, who still lives there, watching over lovers during the moon festival. Every corner of the world had a moon story. Every culture had moon rituals. Why? Because the moon was constant. Even in a world filled with danger, hunger, and fear, the moon rose. It gave light when the world was dark. It helped people feel connected to something greater than themselves. It was the first clock, It helped early farmers know when to plant and harvest. It helped travelers find their way at night. It even helped early scientists guess the movement of planets and stars. The moon was Earth's first teacher. So, if the moon suddenly vanished, we wouldn't just lose a natural satellite. We'd lose a mirror, a reflection of our past. But let's go further. Without the moon, some people believe human civilization might have taken longer to rise. Without tides, coastlines would have been different. Without moonlight, early humans might have stayed in their caves longer. Afraid of the darkness. No moon might mean no myths, no calendars, no first songs sung under the stars. Could it be that the moon not only shaped the Earth, but shaped us too? In the next part, we'll explore the spiritual and emotional effects on modern humans. If the moon vanished today, how it would touch our mental health, beliefs and sense of peace. Emotional and spiritual effects of losing the moon. Now let's talk about the most silent and personal effect of all, how losing the moon would make us feel. You see, the moon isn't loud. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't shine like the sun, but it's always there. Like a quiet friend in the sky. Many people look at the moon when they feel lost or sad. Some whisper wishes to it. Some write poems. Some just sit under its soft light and feel a little less alone. The moon gives comfort, and without it, that comfort would be gone. Nights would feel emptier. The sky would lose its gentle balance. For some, it would feel like the world is missing a heartbeat. You might not realize how often you look for the moon on walks. Through windows. In moments when you want to think or dream. It's just part of the background of life. A constant presence. Now imagine that quiet presence disappearing forever. People might feel more anxious, more disconnected. Mental health experts believe that natural rhythms like daylight, nightfall, and moonlight play a role in emotional well-being. Without the moon, we could see a rise in sleep disorders, depression, or emotional fatigue, especially in places where moonlight is the only natural glow in long, dark nights. And spiritually, some people believe the moon affects energy and emotion. They plan meditations, rituals, and healing practices around its phases. New moon for beginnings, full moon for release. Without it, spiritual calendars would lose their rhythm. People who follow lunar energy might feel off balance, as if something sacred has been erased from the sky. Even for those who don't follow rituals, the moon often represents hope. A reminder that even in darkness, light returns. Without it, even our deepest dreams might feel dimmer. But there's another layer. The moon links us. When you see the full moon, someone else across the world is seeing it too. It's a shared experience, a global moment of wonder. Take that away, and we lose one more invisible string that ties humanity together. We may still have stars. We may still have the sun, but without the moon, a special kind of peace disappears. Up next, let's explore the moon's role in art, music, and human creativity, and what might never be created again if it vanished. Could we replace the moon? Artificial moons and human response. If the moon vanished suddenly, scientists, governments, and engineers wouldn't just sit still. They'd ask the big question: can we replace it? The truth is, we might try. But replacing the moon isn't easy. It's not just a light in the sky. It's a massive object over 2,000 miles wide, weighing more than 70 billion trillion kilograms. It pulls our oceans, balances our planet, and shields us from danger. We can't rebuild that overnight. But still, humanity would try. Some scientists might propose building an artificial moon. Maybe a giant satellite with powerful lights placed in orbit. It wouldn't have gravity or mass, but it could at least bring back the light, a way to make nights less dark. To comfort people emotionally. China has already tested ideas like this, small. Artificial moons to light up cities at night. They use solar mirrors in space to reflect sunlight back to Earth. Could we scale that up? Maybe, but it would take years. And billions of dollars. Others might propose launching space stations as into lunar orbit, or putting giant mirrors in space to create tides artificially. These ideas sound like science fiction. But in a moonless world, fiction might become the only hope. Astronomers would also have to We calculate everything from satellite paths to space travel routes. Navigation systems would need major upgrades. Space agencies might have to design a new kind of cosmic calendar. And what about ordinary people? Governments might run global campaigns to help people adjust emotionally. Therapists and counselors would talk about moon loss. Artists might be funded to keep moon culture alive through music and storytelling. Books would be written. Films would be made. We'd try to remember what we lost and reimagine how to live without it. But even with all our science, even with all our technology, nothing could replace the real moon. Because it wasn't just a light. It was a rhythm, a protector, a silent part of every life. We could build mirrors, lights, machines, but the ancient connection would be gone. The sky would be emptier, and the earth would never feel quite the same again. In the next part, we'll explore what might happen to other planets in the solar system. If they lost their moons, and how our moon compares to theirs. What if other planets lost their moons? Earth isn't the only planet with a moon. In fact, other planets have many more than we do. Jupiter has 95 moons. Saturn has over 145 Uranus. Neptune, Mars, they all have moons too. But Earth has just one. And yet, our moon is one of the most important in the solar system. Why? Because it's big, much bigger compared to the size of its planet. Than any other major moon. It affects Earth more deeply than other moons affect their planets. Now imagine if those other moons disappeared. If Mars lost its two small moons, Phobos and Deimos, the sky would change a little. But Mars wouldn't notice much. They're tiny. They barely affect tides or orbit. If Jupiter lost its moons, like Europa or Ganymede, yes. Its rings and gravity systems might shift. But Jupiter is massive. It could handle the change. But Earth? Without its moon, Earth would wobble, shake, and spin differently. Our seasons would break. The ocean would lose its breath. In a way, Earth's moon is more important to its planet than any other in the solar system. It's not just a companion. It's a guardian. Even space scientists agree our moon is special. It formed from a giant collision over 4.5 billion years ago. A piece of Earth broke off, melted, and became the Moon. That means the Moon is part of us, literally.
A lost piece of Earth that stayed close forever.
So if it vanished, we wouldn't just be losing a neighbor. We'd be losing part of ourselves. In the next part, we'll go deeper into that idea.
How the Moon helped life form on Earth.
From tiny sea creatures to the first humans. The Moon and the origins of life on Earth.
Let's go far back.
Before cities, before humans, before trees. Back to when Earth was just a hot, young planet covered in oceans and volcanoes.
Even then, the Moon was there.
And from the very beginning, it played a quiet but powerful role in shaping life itself. The Moon's gravity pulled Earth's oceans. And those pulls created tides. Tides weren't just water rising and falling. They were movement, motion, change. And that motion stirred the ocean's mixed chemicals and created perfect conditions for life to begin. Tiny creatures, smaller than dust, started forming in the sea. They floated in and out with the tides. They learned to adapt to rhythm. Day and night.
High and low.
Without tides, that rhythm would be gone. Life might have taken longer to appear. Or maybe it wouldn't have happened at all.
As life grew, the Moon kept helping.
Tides brought food closer to the shore. Creatures crawled out, then back in. Some learned to breathe air. Some stayed on land. This tidal rhythm slowly helped build a bridge from sea to land. Over millions of years, that led to fish, then reptiles, then mammals. And eventually to us. So when we look at the Moon, we're not just seeing something outside of Earth. We're seeing something that helped make Earth what it is.
Something that helped make us.
Without the Moon, life may still exist. But it might look completely different. Slower, simpler, maybe not even intelligent. And maybe, just maybe, humans would have never evolved at all. So if the Moon disappeared today, we wouldn't just lose a part of the sky. We'd lose the very thing that helped write the first chapter of our story. In the next part, we'll explore the final possibility. Could the Moon ever really disappear? Is there a real chance it could leave us someday? Could the moon really disappear someday? So now we ask the big question.
Could the moon ever truly disappear?
Is this just a story or something that could happen in the real future?
The answer is maybe.
But not suddenly. Right now, the moon is very slowly moving away from Earth. About 3.8 centimeters. Every year, roughly the speed your fingernails grow. That might not sound like much, but over millions of years it adds up. Scientists believe that billions of years from now, the moon could be far enough away that its effects become weaker, less tides, less gravity pull, less balance for Earth. But would it ever completely drift away?
Most likely not.
The moon is still trapped by Earth's gravity. Unless something massive, like a giant object from space, hit it, the moon will stay with us. But in the far, far future, when the sun begins to die and expand into a red giant, the entire solar system may change. The Earth could be swallowed by the sun. And when that happens,
The moon will be gone too.
not because it chose to leave, but because the entire system that held it in place will fall apart. So yes, in the very distant future, the moon will disappear. But not today. Not tomorrow. Not for a very, very long time. Still, it reminds us of something important. The moon won't always be there.
And that makes it more precious. Something to notice.
To honor. To cherish. When you look at the moon tonight, know this.
It's more than a rock.
It's a companion. A protector. A quiet part of your story. Up next, we'll enter the final part of our journey.
A gentle reflection.
What happens if the moon disappeared? Final reflection. As we've explored, the moon is more than just a bright light in the night sky. It's woven into the fabric of Earth itself. From the tides that shape our shores to the creatures that walked thee. Earth, because of its rhythm, the moon has touched every moment of our world's story. It's shaped the lives of billions of humans, inspired the greatest artists, and guided explorers across oceans and deserts. In a way, the moon is a reminder of how deeply connected we all are to each other.
To nature, to the universe.
If the moon ever disappeared, we would lose far more than a source of light. we would lose a part of our history, our dreams,
and the balance that makes Earth the special place it is.
But as we stand under the moon tonight, let's remember something. It's not gone yet.
It's still here.
And for now, we are lucky to have it. The next time you see the moon, whether it's full, crescent or new, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Appreciate its light. And know that it's part of something much bigger than just a night sky.
Because even though the moon is far away, it's been with us from the beginning. And it will stay with us for many generations to come. Now here's where you come in.
Take this moment to reflect. How do you think the moon has shaped your life? What moments has it lit up for you? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Let's start a conversation about this beautiful,
mysterious companion in the sky. And if you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my Mosaic 2177 for more thought-provoking stories. We're just getting started. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep looking up.